There's just something about being in an airport or airplane that gets me in a reflective mood, especially whenever I'm traveling home after being away for a good chunk of time. I moved out when I was 18, and it's been 3 years now, and every time I go home, I always just think about my life and how much has changed and how weird growing up is. And so I thought I'd take a moment to just think out loud here as I wait for my flight back home to Canada, because I still have 4 hours and have nothing to do. So, yeah. So I've been dancing professionally for a couple of years now. Just finished a run of Nutcracker shows, did 29 performances, feeling grateful for getting through it all without any injuries, feeling grateful for the time I got to spend with everyone on and off stage. Like, truly, I have so much love for the people that I get to do this job with. There was one day in the dressing room, I was talking to the girls, and I was like, imagine if we all hated each other and did this job. Like, no thank you. It just would not be as enjoyable. Definitely would not be the same. Like, come on, look at us.
Wonderful time. Yeah.
It's moments like these that remind me how lucky I am to do this. The camaraderie, the laughter, backstage moments, it all just reminds me like why I love dance and the way it brings people together. And when I think about where it all began, my mind always goes back to home. I grew up in Victoria, BC, Canada. Spent 18 years of my life there, including 12 years spent training to become a dancer. Shout out to VAB. Trained there all my life. Every time I go back home, it's like I'm stepping back into a memory, but it also feels different every time, because I feel like a completely different person than who I was when I lived there. Growing up, I was always in my own way. Like, I don't know how else to say this, and I'm not saying this for pity, but I genuinely hated myself as a teenager. My self-esteem was so low. I feared performing in front of people. I wanted to hide all the time. I had high-functioning anxiety, social anxiety, an unhealthy body image. Some days leaving my house felt like a difficult task because I just didn't want to be seen. Between, I'd say, like 15 to 18, I went through a phase of reading self-help books and listening to podcasts, like trying to fix myself. And I even worked with a sports psychologist for a short while and was exploring spirituality. But no matter how much effort I put in, I couldn't fully escape the weight of everything I was feeling. During my year at a second company, it all caught up to me, and I fell into this deep depression. I questioned everything, felt completely numb to life and just so confused. And then right in the middle of all that, I was offered my first professional contract. You'd think that would pull me out of a dark place, but it honestly made me even more confused. Don't get me wrong, I was so grateful for the opportunity. That was what I had been working towards my whole life, but it forced me to confront myself with questions I kept avoiding. Like, would quitting ballet make me happy again? Who would I be without dance? Why do I keep letting my mind have so much power over me? With all sorts of questions and thoughts, I went home for winter break after getting the news about my contract. Being home didn't magically fix everything or give me all the answers, but it reminded me to slow down, to stop obsessing over what was next. I realized that getting the job wasn't going to suddenly make me happy. Instead, it was being home, surrounded by familiarity and simplicity that made me pause and acknowledge how much I'd been neglecting the present moment. Since then, every trip back home feels like a moment for me to measure how far I've come, not just as a dancer, but as a person. Home is a place where I can reconnect with the memories and moments that shaped me. And I always end up looking back at old home videos. I'm reminded of the joy I had as a kid without caring about anything. Like I was just a girl dancing like a weirdo. Watching my younger self, I see someone who knew how to live in the moment without even trying. I think as I continue to be on this path of growing up and just navigating my 20s, she's reminding me that happiness is a series of moments, sometimes fleeting, that has to be recognized and appreciated in the moment, even amidst whatever chaos is going on. Having dance be my identity my whole life, I got used to the feeling of constantly striving for more, striving to improve, striving to achieve, striving to prove myself. Which, I mean, it's good to strive and to push and to want more, but I also think it becomes easy to miss what's right in front of you. So I'm going to keep trying to remind myself to notice the small things that make me happy, like the comfort of being around people I love, the sound of music, good food. It's these little things that make me realize that life isn't about waiting for things to happen and getting to a final destination in order to be happy. But life is meant to be experienced. So as I sit here waiting for my flight, I'm holding on to that feeling. The feeling of gratitude for where I came from and the lessons that I've learned, the people in my life, the person I used to be, and who I'm becoming. Rediscovering my joy in dance has been a lot like reconnecting with the simplicity of my childhood, where happiness came from just being in the moment and not striving for perfection. Of course, I still have moments when I question, like, am I on the right path? What am I doing with my life? But then I have to, like, snap myself and be like, dude, just chill. Life is so impermanent, and those fleeting moments of joy will pass by if you don't slow down and be present. It's okay to not have everything figured out, so enjoy the journey.
Let's go, you guys.
I feel like my ankles are gonna fall off in my body. I'm scared.